Under the Trump administration, the America First policy has endured.
Wise leaders always put the good of their own people and their own country first.
When President Trump delivered this address in 2019, he had already announced the U.S. departure from the Paris Climate Agreement and the Iran nuclear deal, ostensibly to protect America from bad deals.
This is, I think, the first time since World War II that we've seen such a sustained focus on withdrawing from some of the key multilateral agreements.
This year alone, Washington has picked another fight at the UN over Iran, gave notice to leave the World Health Organization in the midst of a pandemic, citing a China bias, and slapped sanctions on officials of the International Criminal Court for investigating reports of U.S. war crimes in Afghanistan.
Obviously, all countries advance their own interests, but it's often a question of how we do this, right? And it used to be the case that the U.S. worked through multilateral institutions because that was a way for us to advance our interests as well as reconcile those of other countries, right? This administration doesn't value that.
The U.S. stance has created problems for an organization in which the world's most powerful nation plays a critical role. The U.S. hosts the UN headquarters in New York, pays the lion's share of the UN's budget, has incredible sway with most UN member nations, and carries a powerful veto within the UN Security Council. How do you navigate that relationship?
With pragmatism. I think we need to be pragmatic, we need to be practical. Wherever there are problems, we need to have the capacity to control the damage. And wherever there are opportunities, to seize those opportunities in order to have positive aspects of cooperation that are happening in different areas and different parts of the world for different reasons. When we face the challenges that we have, no country can do it alone. We need to do it together.
Diplomacy may be a delicate dance for the world's top diplomat, but outside of these walls, other countries are stepping in to fill the void left by the U.S.
No one country can replace the US, which has huge influence across the UN system. But I do think that we're moving towards a situation in which Beijing, Brussels, and other powers are more active in trying to keep the UN alive.
China is expanding its role within the UN and, together with France, has been leading the charge in the climate fight, while the European Union is at the forefront of international efforts to develop a COVID-19 vaccine. With the lives of people and the health of the planet at stake, many diplomats here feel that at no other time in recent memory has international cooperation been needed more, which is why many here are now looking to the U.S. presidential elections in November to see who it might bring back to the table. LiLing Tan, CGTN, United Nations.